Hello, and welcome to Body Metrix, the show that provides you information on the latest in health, wellness, and nutrition. My name is Adrienne Delgado. I am a registered dietitian working and living right here in the Spring-Ford School District. My job as an educator is to teach people how to eat a healthy diet, but it's so much more than just providing information. Let's face it, most of us know what we should be doing when it comes to eating better, but actually doing it? Well, that's a whole other challenge. Why? I believe it mostly comes down to lack of time. I love teaching people how to eat healthy and how to prepare nutritious foods that actually taste good for both them and their families. In each episode, we will discuss various nutrition and wellness topics, and we'll always end each show with a cooking demo. My goal is for everyone watching to take away practical ideas from each episode and incorporate them into your own life. Whether you are a busy teen, working parent, or a stay-at-home mom with little ones, everyone will benefit from making healthier choices. When we come back, we are going to focus on one of the most important things we can do for our bodies. You won't want to miss it.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
We're back and ready to tackle one of the biggest challenges of the day for most people. Have you figured it out yet? It's breakfast. Most of us know breakfast is important, mostly because our parents and teachers have told us. But only 33% of us actually eat breakfast on a regular basis. And what's the biggest excuse? No time. We are always in a hurry, either from hitting the snooze button one too many times or simply not allowing enough time to cook and eat before walking out the door. I thought it would be fun to test out our theory on some kids at the high school to see if they are making the right decision to eat breakfast daily.
Did you eat breakfast this morning?
Yes, I did.
And what did you have?
I had a clementine and string cheese.
Did you have breakfast this morning?
No, I normally don't have breakfast.
And why not?
I don't really have time for it.
Did you eat breakfast this morning?
Yes, I did eat breakfast this morning.
And what did you have?
I had Girl Scout cookies and chocolate Pop-Tarts.
Did you have breakfast this morning?
No, I didn't have breakfast.
And why not?
I woke up late this morning.
Did you have breakfast this morning?
Yes, I did.
And what did you have?
I had cereal, an apple, and water.
Did you have breakfast this morning?
Indeed, I did.
And what did you have?
I had a bagel with cream cheese, some French toast sticks, and a big glass of milk and bacon.
Did you have breakfast this morning?
No, I did not.
And why not?
I just don't have time.
There are so many benefits to eating breakfast, with the first being increased energy. Our bodies need specific nutrients for growth and development. In fact, vitamins and minerals are the crucial nutrients that help convert carbs, proteins, and fat into energy. Skipping breakfast can limit your chances of obtaining all the nutrients your body needs. People who eat breakfast are more likely to meet all of their vitamin, mineral, and fiber requirements. Studies have also found breakfast eaters typically have lower blood pressure and lower total cholesterol. The second major reason to include breakfast into your diet is weight control. Another common reason for skipping breakfast is you just don't feel hungry in the morning. During sleep, our metabolism slows down as a means of conservation. When you eat breakfast, you actually wake up your metabolism and increase its speed. Ideally, you want to eat breakfast within the first hour of rising. Faster metabolisms mean healthier body weight. People who eat breakfast are more likely to have a healthy BMI. Those that skip breakfast are at increased risk for obesity later in life. Here's another interesting fact. Did you know people who eat breakfast are less likely to overeat at night? I come into contact with people every day who skip breakfast but then end up binging at night and as a result gain weight. Another reason to include breakfast into your daily routine is increased performance. Whether you are an athlete or recreational exerciser, eating breakfast will give you more strength and endurance for your physical activity. Breakfast can even increase hand-eye coordination. Look at breakfast as a great opportunity to replenish glycogen stores and fluid, two crucial nutrients to fuel your brain and muscles. Want to increase your mood? Then eat breakfast. People who eat breakfast report feeling happier and less grumpy. This is all due to keeping your blood sugar stable and hormones balanced. Your blood sugar is low in the morning because you haven't eaten anything all night. When you skip breakfast, your blood sugar begins to drop even more. Ghrelin is a hormone responsible for telling your body you're hungry. Ghrelin can also produce an anxiety response when you're hungry that thankfully goes away when you eat. Have you ever experienced feeling hangry, a condition where you are so hungry that it makes you angry and cranky? Most of us have seen those commercials for the candy Snickers, where the guy isn't himself because he's so hungry, and after he eats the candy bar, he turns back to his normal self. Nobody wants to hang around hangry people. For the sake of those around you, don't forget to grab something to eat in the morning. Thinking of skipping breakfast on the day of an important test or business meeting? Think again. Including breakfast into your normal routine increases concentration and problem-solving skills. It also increases alertness, memory, and attention span. If you find you're rushing out the door the day of an important test or client meeting, make sure to grab something to eat on your way out. At the end of the day, making the excuse not to eat breakfast because of time is exactly that, an excuse. Now that you know all the health benefits to including this meal into your daily routine, we can discuss the question you are all wondering: what should I eat? When we come back, we'll look at quick, healthy breakfast ideas that fuel you for your busy day.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Hi, and welcome back to Body Metrix, the show that answers all your questions on health, wellness, and nutrition. In our last segment, we discussed all of the great health benefits to including breakfast into your daily routine. Right now, I'm going to show you some quick, healthy ideas on what to eat before you run out the door. When you think of breakfast, typical things that come to mind are toast, bagels, and cereal. And while some of these foods can be part of a healthy diet, it's important to know how to tell the good from the bad. Two of the things that I focus on most often are fiber and sugar. Fiber is extremely important for our bodies. It helps us feel full, it keeps us regular, it also decreases our risk of colon cancer, diverticulitis, keeping our blood sugars down, and also keeps our total cholesterol down. When I'm looking at a nutrition label, I always look for fiber whenever I'm looking at a grain product. Specifically, the number I shoot for is 3 grams of fiber. So when you're looking at a nutrition label, always look for 3 grams of fiber or more when you're looking at a grain product. I have a couple of examples here because I thought it'd be interesting to see products that are supposed to be healthy but not necessarily make the grade. For example, Special K cereal. Special K we all think is a healthy cereal, but really there is 0 grams of fiber in this cereal. Now, what does 0 grams mean? It means it's not going to fill you up. It means a half an hour later, you're going to be hungry again. So finding cereal that has enough fiber in is crucial into making you feel fuller longer. These bagels right here, these are a mini bagel, which are great because they're actually the portion size you should be eating. 3 grams of fiber. 3 grams of fiber in these, and 3 grams of fiber in the whole wheat bread. Only 1 gram of fiber in honey wheat. Don't be confused with the word honey. Usually it just means sugar. Speaking of sugar, that's another important component that I look for in my nutrition labels. Usually the rule of thumb is if it's 5 grams or less, you have a healthier product. One example I'd like to show you is Lucky Charms. We all know this isn't healthy. It does not take a nutrition degree to know that this is not our best choice. But something like Raisin Bran is something that you would want to buy because you think bran is healthy, bran is fiber. But there is actually 18 grams of sugar in Raisin Bran. That is a lot of sugar, especially for women. We should have no more than 24 grams of sugar in our diet a day. Men, 36 grams. So you are getting almost your whole entire day's worth of sugar in one bowl of Raisin Bran. And mostly because they're sugar-coated raisins. And that's just if you stick with the portion size. Most of us are just filling our bowls up to the top, pouring in a bunch of milk, and we're not even paying attention to what a serving is. So when you're looking at labels, look for 5 grams or less of sugar. Another example is the double oat golden honey bagels. Again, you think oat, steel cut, rolled oats, this gotta be healthy for me. But if you would actually turn the label around, you would notice that there's 9 grams of sugar, so almost double that of what I recommend. So whenever you're looking at labels, again, 3 grams of fiber, no more than 5 grams of sugar, and you've got a healthier product.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year, 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to Body Metrix. As you heard earlier when I interviewed the students, breakfast can be challenging because of lack of time. So today I'm here to show you a couple quick, easy recipes that you can put together in 5 minutes or less. The first recipe I'm going to put together for you is an apple cheese tortilla. Sometimes you're just not in the mood for your typical breakfast foods. All you need is 1 Granny Smith apple, or any apple of your choice that you prefer, 2 whole grain tortillas, and some low-fat sharp cheddar cheese. It's very simple to put together. All we're going to do is cut the apple into slices. Make sure you take the seeds out. You don't want to have that in your dish. And then we're just going to cut them into thin slices. Apples are great. They have lots of fiber. And I'll let that go. All right, let me bring my plate over here. This is a real simple, easy dish to prepare. It takes no time at all. I'm just going to lay my apple slices here on my tortilla. Again, you can put as many as you'd like on here. Probably I'm going to run out and need to cut a little bit more. All right. And once you get your apples all assembled onto your tortilla, now again, this is another thing that you want to look at. Make sure you're getting a whole grain tortilla or a whole wheat tortilla. Look for that 3 grams of fiber. There's a lot of unhealthy unhealthy tortillas out there. A lot of them have extra sugar in. A lot of them are low fiber. If you're doing the gluten-free thing, there's a ton of choices at the grocery store for you to pick from. So just gonna put this over here. So you have your slices on your tortilla, and you're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of cheese. I believe the recipe calls for a half a cup. I think that's a lot, so I'm gonna probably do half of that. Put a quarter cup on here. Just sprinkle it on. This is a great recipe for kids to do as well, because they can help out with that. And you're basically just gonna make a breakfast quesadilla. And you're gonna put your second layer tortilla on top, stick that in the microwave for 30 seconds, and you've got a great, healthy, tasty treat. All right. The second recipe I wanna show you is a play off of Pop-Tarts. When we did the interview earlier, you saw a young lady who chose Girl Scout cookies and Pop-Tarts as her breakfast of choice. So how can we make Pop-Tarts healthier? Because you know they are a favorite among the kids, but definitely not the healthiest because of all the sugar. What I have here is 2 slices of whole wheat bread. And all I'm gonna do is spread a thin layer of peanut butter on one of the slices of bread. Now, peanut butter is one of those things you have to be careful about when you're selecting because they have a lot of the hydrogenated oils and a lot of sugar in them. So you wanna pick an all-natural peanut butter. Now, the trick with peanut butter is it's gonna have that layer of oil at the top. You wanna just make sure you stir that in the first time. And then the trick to keeping the peanut butter soft is to store the peanut butter upside down in your refrigerator. There's no reason to keep turning it over and over every time you put it in, but just make sure you always store it upside down. That'll keep the peanut butter nice and smooth every time you use it. Once you put your layer of peanut butter on your bread, you're just gonna take your banana, and sometimes they're easier to peel than others, and just pull that out. And I'm gonna take my banana and just, again, slice it like I did with the apples. And that looks good about there. I'm just gonna line it up on my bread, my toast. Again, this is another quick, easy breakfast idea for kids to do. Just put that on here. All right. We're gonna put our second layer of bread over top. And now, this is how we need to make it look like a Pop-Tart. We're gonna cut off the crust. And here is the fun and simple part. You're gonna take a fork and you're gonna use the back of the fork and push it down. Oh, my banana's coming out a little bit there. And you're just gonna keep turning it and you're gonna make it look like a Pop-Tart. And then when you're done, all you need to do is stick this in your toaster or your toaster oven and just toast it as you would normally. Now, I actually filled my one up a little bit too full, so it's starting to pop out the side here, but you get the idea of what it's supposed to look like. And there you have it, homemade Pop-Tarts that are a lot healthier than the ones you buy at the store. All right, let me move some of my stuff out of the way here. And we're gonna go, actually, you know what? Let me show you this next dish right here. I have some oatmeal. Now, oatmeal is one of those standards that everybody eats because it's quick and it's easy. You can throw it in the microwave. Even the quick cookie notes that you make on the stove take no time at all. Now for me, I like to sweeten my oatmeal up with a little bit of maple syrup. I try to choose the pure maple syrup just because from a health standpoint, it doesn't have all the nasty sugars and high fructose corn syrup like your normal pancake syrup would. So what I do is just drizzle a little bit of the maple syrup, and what can be more natural than stuff coming out of trees. And I just take it off, and I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of the maple syrup on top of my oatmeal. And it's a lot better than using the brown sugar or the white sugar, or again, you could use honey. That could be a nice substitute as well. And then I'm gonna top mine with some blueberries. Now in the winter time, when berries aren't accessible, you can use frozen berries. And actually, frozen berries are a great alternative to fresh in the winter time. And really, the options are endless. You could use strawberries, peaches, raisins, whatever fruit you like. All right, for our final recipe at this time, I'm going to make a clementine smoothie. Now, clementines are a great snack. They're easy to peel, they're tasty, especially in the wintertime when there's not a lot of other fresh berries or other fruits to choose from. Clementines are a great, healthy, nutritious snack. So what I'm going to do is put 4 clementines in my blender, and preferably you want these cold just to make your smoothie colder. All right, so I'll put my 4 clementines in here. I'm going to add half a cup of ice, a 1/4 cup of almond milk, and if you want to use plain almond milk, vanilla almond milk, both work well. You can even put in vanilla or plain yogurt as an alternative. And yogurt's great because it gives you that extra protein. And I'm just going to put in just a sprinkling of sea salt because that's going to really enhance the flavor of this. All right. Turn my smoothie on. This is a great alternative to orange juice in the morning. A lot of times people will drink orange juice, but really it's sugar water. There's just so much sugar in juices, and this is a great alternative to that. So make sure my thing is on low. Stick this on. And that's it. Take this off, pour this in my glass, and you have a nice, healthy smoothie in a matter of seconds. When we come back, we're going to show you some more healthy, quick recipe ideas that you can do in 5 minutes or less.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future.
My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it. You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
We're back with more healthy, quick options for breakfast. I have a bunch of recipes to show you, and what I'm going to start out with are egg muffin cups. These are one of my favorite things to make. Typically, eggs are a good breakfast option because they're high in protein, but they're a little hard in the morning because they do require some time. So I'm going to show you a quick, easy way to make eggs that you just have to make earlier in the week, like even on a Sunday night, and you're going to have breakfast for the whole week. What I did was in these muffin cups, I greased the pan. This is really important from personal experience. Make sure you grease the pan. I greased the pan, and then what I did was I chopped up peppers and onions, I did spinach and feta, and I also did salsa and cheese. But really the options are limitless. You could do mushrooms, asparagus, Swiss cheese, whatever your preference is. What I'm going to do is I have 11 eggs. And 11 is kind of a funny number, but if you fill the muffin cups up 3/4 of the way full, you can get away with 11 eggs. And so I'm just going to crack my eggs and put it into my dish. I already cracked 9 of them already on break. And now I'm going to add 2 more. And then all I'm going to do is just whisk these eggs, almost like you're making scrambled eggs. If you want to add a little bit of salt and pepper to this, you can. If not, they're good the way they are. That looks good. All right. And like I said, if you want to fill your muffin cups about 3/4 of the way full with your vegetable or your mix-ins. All right. And then after, got a little excited there. After you're done whisking your eggs, you're just going to fill it up to the top. Now, these are really good because they freeze really well. You can stick them in your refrigerator, and then when it's time for breakfast in the morning, you just pop them out of the refrigerator and heat them up in your microwave or your toaster oven, whatever you have at your house. I usually eat 2, 3 of them at a time because remember, there's not even a whole egg in each cup. And this just makes your eggs a little bit more interesting in the morning than just a standard scrambled egg. But you can also make scrambled eggs in the microwave. You can just pour them into a microwave safe cup or bowl, and you just want to scramble them a little bit, microwave on high for a minute or two, and you can have eggs quick and easy right out of the microwave. And then you could add some fresh tomato, put that on a whole wheat English muffin, and you've got a quick, easy breakfast. All right, so as you can see here, I used 11 eggs, and I have more than enough for all of my 12 muffin cups. Then what you're going to do is you're going to stick this in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes, and when it comes out of the oven, it's going to look like this. So you can see I did, again, my spinach and feta, I did the salsa and cheese, and the onions and peppers. Now bagels are another quick, easy breakfast idea. Doesn't require much work on your part. So what I want to do is just show you how can you make the bagel a little bit healthier. Typical toppings are cream cheese. You can also do peanut butter. That's a great healthy protein with the good healthy the good healthy fats. But what I want to do here is I took my whole grain muffin, and these were the ones that I showed you from before. These have 3 grams of fiber and 3 grams of sugar in them. And what I have here is the low-fat ricotta cheese. Ricotta cheese is similar in texture and consistency to a cottage cheese, but if you don't like the little balls, because some people it's a textural thing with cottage cheese, you can do ricotta and it'll be a nice alternative. It's also low in fat, high in protein. And you're just going to smooth this on your bagel, and then what I'm going to do is top it off with some strawberries. But again, you could use blueberries, you could use whatever fruit you'd like. And you're just going to stick it on here. I saw a recipe the other day for a bagel with apples and honey drizzled on top. This time I'm going to use strawberries and honey with my ricotta cheese. And you're just going to stick this on here. Obviously you can do the second one as well. And here's my honey. And you're just going to drizzle a little bit of honey on top and just a nice thin layer of honey. You don't want too much, but just a little bit to add some sweetness to it. And there you've got a quick, healthy breakfast bagel idea that took no time at all to make. So, we move this stuff out of the way. The next thing I'm going to do is a morning milkshake. I showed you the clementine smoothie in our last segment. Actually, it tastes pretty much like a creamsicle, so if you like that creamsicle taste over the summer, it's a great option for you to have. Now I'm going to make more of a milkshake flavor. What we're going to do is we're going to put in a cup of milk, a whole banana, just stick that in there, an apple. Make sure you take the seeds out, they're not good for you, but you might want to quarter it. I always keep the skin on because that gives me extra fiber. All right, I'm going to put in a tablespoon of honey, again just a little bit to sweeten it up. Just help this along here. We could be here all day. All right. And a little bit of cinnamon. All right. And then finally, we need some ice. I want to make this thing cold. All right. We'll turn this thing on and blend it till it's smooth. So as you can see, all these ingredients, they don't take any time at all to prepare. You're not doing a lot of chopping with this stuff. And I am going to try this one because this is one of my favorites. Excellent. Thick, creamy, a great start to your breakfast, and it's going to fill you up, give you protein, give you fiber with the fruit. Perfect. And who doesn't like a milkshake first thing in the morning? All right, put this aside. Let's see what else I have here. Quick and easy breakfast. Quick and easy, I think of yogurt. Everybody loves yogurt first thing in the morning, again, because it's quick and simple. All you have to do is scoop it out of the container and put it into your bowl. To make it a little bit more interesting though, I'll put in some fresh fruit. So again, here's some of my fresh sliced strawberries, some blueberries, oops, now I'm getting crazy, and finally some granola. Again, with the granola, you want to make sure you got that 3 grams of fiber. Watch the sugar, because a lot of granolas that are commercially prepared have a ton of sugar in them. Now for me, I personally like plain yogurt. I do like the taste of it. It does take a little bit of getting used to. So if you need to drizzle it with a little bit of honey, by all means go ahead. But buying plain fresh yogurt is going to always be a better option than buying a fruit flavored yogurt, just because of all the added sugar. Half the time when you buy yogurt with the fruit on the bottom, it's a lot of times you're not getting fresh fruit. It's like going to Dairy Queen and ordering a strawberry sundae. You're not getting fresh strawberries. So a lot of times when you buy the yogurt with the fruit on the bottom, it's that sugary, syrupy stuff that you get like when you go to Dairy Queen. So you're always better off choosing fresh plain yogurt and adding your own fruit to it than buying an already pre-mixed fruit flavored yogurt. So tell me this doesn't look good. Quick, easy. All right, I got one more recipe to show you that you will have to put a little bit of work into and a little bit of forethought to make it ahead of time, but these are quick, easy. My kids love them and so simple to prepare. So I'm going to move my ingredients over here just to make it a little bit easier. All right, so for this recipe, I'm going to use 3 bananas. Now, the riper the bananas, the better, because it's just going to be easier to smash, and it's also going to give it a sweeter flavor. Usually bananas get a bad rap. A lot of my patients will tell me, I don't eat bananas because there's too much sugar in them. Well, actually bananas are really healthy for you. They got a lot of potassium in them, some fiber. If you're an athlete and prone to leg cramps or anything like that, you want to be including bananas in your diet. But the problem with bananas is they are a lot of sugar. They're a tropical fruit, and they tend to raise your blood sugar more so than a strawberry or a blueberry would. If you are watching your sugars and you want to make sure that you're getting a healthier version of a banana, you want to eat them more on the non-ripe side. So the greener they are, the less sugars in them. They're not going to raise your sugar that much. But when you're making a breakfast cookie or any type of smoothie, the more ripe they are, the sweeter they're going to be. So I have 3 bananas in here, and I just broke them in half just to make it a little bit easier for myself. And you're just going to sit there or stand there, and you're just going to mash your bananas. And again, if you want your cookies a little bit chunky, you can go ahead and leave them a little bit thicker, or you can mash them. If you want to use a hand mixer to make this process go even quicker, you can. I don't really feel like this takes too long though, so I'm just going to roughly mash these using my potato masher, because what else would you use, right? You can also use the back of a fork. Okay, good enough. All right, to that I'm going to add 2 cups of oats. All right. I'm going to add 1/3 cup of applesauce. A 1/4 cup of almond milk. You could use plain milk as well. A 1/2 cup of raisins. And this is optional. You don't have to put these in if you're not a big raisin fan. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. Now, the trick with flaxseed is you want to make sure you purchase it ground. If you're buying it in the whole seed intact, you're not going to get the healthy omega-3 benefits from it. So you always want to buy it ground. You want to store it in your refrigerator, because once you open the bag, the oils, when they're expressed, they'll get rancid quicker. So always store it in your refrigerator. It lasts for about 3 months. If you don't think you're going to use it in time, put it in your freezer and it'll last 6 months to a year. Finally, I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon. And a teaspoon of vanilla. All right, we're just going to mix that really well. And the batter, it's actually going to be very wet and moist. Definitely wetter than when you're making cookies, which you shouldn't be making, but on a regular basis. Probably could have grabbed a bigger spoon, but that's all right. This works just fine. These are a great option if you need to be gluten-free. You can buy gluten-free oats and use these, and this would be a great either breakfast idea, or you can use these as an after-school snack. Okay, that looks good right there. Let me just clear off my space here. And you don't need to pre-grease your pan or anything like that. It's fine. Again, like I said, it's more of a wet batter, so that should work. I'll move this over here. I just have a little scooper that I use. You could use a tablespoon, a teaspoon, whatever you'd like. And I'm just going to drop them onto my cookie sheet. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bake these at 350 degrees for about 15-20 minutes. You don't want to over bake. So around the 15-minute mark, I'd probably check on them. And you're just going to stick them on your pan and form them into nice balls. It gives you a good idea. And when they come out of the oven, they're going to look like this. All right, so again, you can put in, you don't have to put the raisins in, you could put nuts in there if you'd like, really. Again, the options are endless depending on your preference. So choosing to eat healthy foods the first meal of the day will make you feel satisfied, energized, and ready to tackle your day. I hope after watching today's episode, you will start including nutritious breakfast options to your morning routine. Thank you so much for watching our show, and tune in next episode for more ideas on how to incorporate health and nutrition into you and your family's lives.